Well, it's not just the wall that's likely to get Democrats riled up. The president's budget reportedly also cuts domestic spending. Economic advisor Larry Kudlow telling Fox News Sunday the cuts would be across the board.
And the president is proposing roughly a 5% across-the-board reduction in domestic spending accounts. It will be a tough budget. We're going to do our own caps this year, and I think it's long overdue. Some of these recent budget deals have not been favorable towards spending.
He added that the cuts will help keep GDP growth around 3% for 10 years. So with that, we bring in Edward Stringham of the American Institute for Economic Research. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, Edward.
Good morning, Lauren.
There's obviously a disconnect between the growth the White House is projecting for the economy and what independent forecasters say. How do you explain the difference?
Well, the president said that he's going to be pro-business, and that's actually been materializing. So the tax cuts, the deregulations has actually led to fueling of economic activity. Economic growth turned out to be very good last year, 2.9%. So 3% is actually quite impressive. Some of his forecasts are a little bit higher than what the typical economist says, but things have been working out so far with this pro-business, pro-economic agenda.
The budget also calls for, and we heard that from the sound from Larry Kudlow that we played, basically a 5% cut in spending across the board as they put more money towards veterans, more money towards defense. Can spending cuts make up for the cost of defense, but also for the cost of the tax cuts?
Well, you know, I would say one issue that we still have, which is a big one, is an overspending problem. It's still, I would say, very bloated. Cheryl just mentioned that a minute ago. There's no plan to come close to a balanced budget in terms of lowering spending to match what government is receiving. And they said, oh, we'll get to that, but that's going to be about, maybe about 15 years from now. So this is a case where the debt is going to keep increasing. That's going to lead to future interest rate payments having to go up and future taxes going to have to go up. So it is kind of a worrying trend that has not been going away for a long time.
Yeah, and if you look at how markets and treasuries are performing, you can make the argument that maybe investors right now aren't even concerned about that. But we got to end it there. Edward Stringham, thank you very much.
All right, well, let's talk about